QR code here with his phone if you want to take that from him. Scan that QR code right here. Right there. Right there. Just that one. Slight technical difficulty.
All right. And fantastic, it went through.
And look how far we came in the space. Former president and current running president Donald Trump made the first presidential payment in Bitcoin on national television. That's how far this space has been going. If you don't see adoption coming, you're not positioned, you might miss the boat. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We have a jam-packed video. There's been a lot going on. The biggest news, the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates by 50 basis points. People were speculating 25, 50. We got the 50-point cut. And what do we see? Bitcoin has came up and ran up off this news. But wait a second. Bitcoin's at almost 63,000. And look at the Bitcoin price chart. Look at, what do you see here? Well, we see a pattern that a lot of people have been overlooking. We see a head and shoulders pattern. So the bull market could be over with. Now we're just playing with you. This chart's flipped upside down. So as you see this bull market support band, we've been, just putting in a low, higher low, lower low, higher low, and we get back above it temporarily, but then look what happens. We fall down, rinse, and repeat. But where's technical target for this massive inverse head and shoulders pattern? And the way you get this is you pull this from the swing low of the head down to the neckline, and then pull this down to where we would break down to. And where would this technical targets take us down to? Look here. This will take us down to over a $300,000 Bitcoin. Will that happen? Time will tell. You gotta be patient. The RSI is showing confluence as well as we've been oversold, overbought, overbought, overbought. We haven't got back down to the oversold territory. So how long will it take us to get there? We'll take a look at all that before this video's out. An update from CryptoFi Hub showing the same thing with an upright chart. You see this is a descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish pattern. Technical target of this is roughly around the $85,000 to $90,000 range, maybe $86,000. But you see the trend is changing. The RSI has broken this higher low and lower low structure, and you have to be patient here. Another update, Bitcoin dominance. Check this out. People are wondering when the alt season is going to be had. So check here. Alt seasons typically last about 365 days. At least that's what's happened the past two previous alt seasons in 2017 and 2021. But when do they start? They start after 1096 days. This is on the 3-month chart. So right now we see that 1096 days starts on October 1st, Q1 of 2024. In a few weeks here, we're going to see this 365-day window start. And look, once we get into this window, what happens? Bitcoin dominance falls. Bitcoin dominance falls. So if history's any indication of what's going to come, Bitcoin dominance will fall for 1 year. So you're looking at October 1st of 2024 until October 1st of 2025. Diversify, get back into Bitcoin, and in October of 2025, you should make some gains if history's any indication. Stock Money Lizard is weighing in, and how long we have until the peak. Well, he's looking at peak to peak on the monthly chart. He's seeing 48 months, 48 months, another 48 months. This takes us to that September 1st / October of 2025. Targets 200 to 260,000. That's almost confluent with, this technical head and shoulders pattern. So we're seeing multiple confluences pointing towards the end of Q3, start of Q4 of 2025. The bull market is about to get extremely fun. CryptoCons weighing in and what we could see for the rest of September. So look here, from 2023 to 2024, Look at these patterns. These patterns from month to month almost identically mirror as far as higher low, lower low, lower low, lower low, and then we put in a higher low, and then look what happened. Are we going to see this massive run up before September's out the same way October of last year did, and then have a continuation? Q4 could be getting extremely bullish. Arthur Hayes has been in the news a lot, giving his thoughts on the market, the Fed rate cuts, and what he sees coming for crypto and Bitcoin. Let's hear from Arthur.
Obviously, I have a macro view that Jay Powell and Janet Yellen want to juice financial markets to help Kamala Harris win the election. And obviously, this sort of fits within that thesis, because if you look at the U.S. economy, it's extremely strong. GDP growth for third quarter this year was about, I think, 2-point-something% positive real growth. There's still unemployment is still quite low on historical standards. And why is the Fed cutting rates? It seems like the current rate regime was perfectly fine with a growing U.S. economy. So what was so bad that they needed to cut a 0.5%, largest rate cut since March of 2020? I believe that they're trying to get markets to go even higher to make people feel even wealthier as they go into the ballot box in November. And inflation is going to accelerate after this point, because if people have been saying that the U.S. government has been recklessly spending money, how does making it cheaper for them to borrow help that position? I think that the yen is going to continue to strengthen. And if the Fed and the market believes they're going to continue to cut rates, and the BOJ has continued to say we are still on a rate rising path, so that differential is going to narrow over time. If you are in a leveraged yen carry trade, you need to be exiting that trade, because both sides of the pond are telling you, on the one hand, we're cutting rates on the US dollar side, and on the Japanese yen side, we're going to raise rates. So it's imprudent for risk management for you to keep that position on. So I believe that slowly, then quickly, people are going to be selling foreign assets, foreign meaning assets outside of Japan, and buying back the yen, because they need to cover this trade, because it's going to go against them, I think, in a big way over the near term. I find it quite strange that a lot of people in crypto think that Trump is pro-crypto. Trump was president for 4 years. He had perfectly, a blank slate to do whatever he wanted to do, and he did nothing for crypto. A lot of the people who are in these agencies, came in under a Trump administration. So I don't believe anything he says. He's a politician. There's a lot of crypto money that wants to donate to politics. He's happy to take it and tell you what you need to hear. In terms of Harris and the Democrats, you know what they're about. You've seen the last 4 years in terms of the policies that have been put forward. But I think at the end of the day, the United States is a very small place in terms of population. Obviously, it has a very large economy and whatnot. But take a look at this conference, right? Last year, I think they sold 10,000 tickets. This year, they sold 20,000 tickets. So there's a global movement to get financial freedom, to divorce money from the state. And if the American regulators want to try to keep everybody out of their little pond, that's fine. Let them do that. But at the end of the day, we're going to move forward. We don't need regulatory clarity from the United States government. If they provide it, great. If they don't, it's just the same as it's been since 2009. And we've grown from zero to whatever, $2-3 trillion market cap of a crypto ecosystem. So I think people need to stop worrying about it. If you want to launch a business in the US, then obviously you need to worry about those things. But if you're constrained about what do I do, then just ignore America. There's a whole wide world out there. Look at this conference. It's absolutely insane. The amount of energy and people from all around the world have come here to sort of build a bright new future. Let America be in the past.